Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well today. This is Patrick Lee. It's time for Midweek Motivation Live. Going to be talking to you today about road signs and recommitment. And I hope you guys enjoy the show today. Not going to be a long show, but want to dive into this topic. Y'all let me know you can hear me. People tuning in already to watch the show today. Let me make sure I'm not muted myself. We are good. Appreciate it. Good to see people tuning in already. Hello, Sal. Give me a thumbs up. Let me make sure y'all can hear me and that we're doing well. Appreciate y'all coming to watch the show each and every week. Midweek Motivation Live now on all major podcast platforms. Get my reports every week of people downloading the show. That super jazzed about that. We appreciate that. And so let's dive into this today. Road signs. What are you talking about, Patrick Lee? Road signs. Road signs. Y'all know what road signs are, right? You can. All right. Good. Thank you. You can hear me. Good to see you watching again today as well, Jamie. That's awesome. Road signs. We all learned about them when we were young, getting our license. Many of you, I got my license at 16. Some people it was 18 or 19 or 20. I know some people that waited into their late 20s before they ever got their license. But one of the most important things that we learn in life as we just dig into this to recognize are road signs, right? And there are many road signs all around us. And they all have, most of them have a different shape, a different color, and they're there to remind us of things, but also to warn us of things. And there are many things in our as we drive around in our communities that we have to be mindful of, right? And of course, at the beginning of this, the emojis of the title, we've got the stop sign. I think we have a yield sign, a caution sign. And those are many things that we have to look into each and every day as we're reminded. How many of you could raise your hand and say, hey, I may not be the best driver in the world. I'm a pretty good driver, but I've gotten a couple of tickets. And that would be me from time to time. I used to be known for getting a lot more tickets. I have mellowed. I'm a pretty dang good driver, if I say so myself, because I pay attention to the signs. The things that are harder to pay attention to is when my wife or one of my teammates is in the truck with me and we're driving somewhere and we're talking about a certain place, but we're going to another place, and my mind will automatically start by habit directing me to go to the wrong place that we were talking about. And my wife or someone else will say, hey, where are you going? We're going the other way. And I'm like, well, I got a little sidetracked there. But the signs themselves, caution, yield, speed limit, somewhat speed limit, stop signs, stop lights. Those things are there for a reason. How many of you understand that when you've watched a movie in Italy or Russia, or one of these other countries, some foreign country, and you look at their driving and you see their traffic patterns and the roads are just glutted with vehicles of all shapes and sizes, from skateboards to bicycles to cars to trucks, and everyone is just going every direction. They cut each other off. They're blending, merging, no signals, very little signs, road signs in those countries, that it's very easy for one of us as an American to go to that country and get lost, get in an accident, not know where we're going, because they don't have the same kind of rules, regulations, and signage out there that we may have here in America to warn you of danger, to tell you the right speed, to let you know what direction you need to go. And then sometimes you use the old GPS in your phone, the Waze app, to remind you if you've gotten off course. But those road signs are there to direct you. I have learned when driving in the Dallas-Fort Worth area now that many places I can go through town and not miss one of my turns, one of my exits, because there are many exits along the road to where I'm going, south of Dallas. And I've gotten to recognize the signs. The signs are there to tell you what direction to go and to remind you sometimes if you're going the wrong direction. But we have signs in life as well. The road signs are there to direct your car, but I think that the life signs are there to direct our lives. And we need to learn to recognize signs in life when you're going down the road that you charted your course. And we've talked about that a lot on the podcast. You've set goals, you've charted a course, you've decided where you want to end up. And, we say all the time, if you don't have a goal or a destination, as a definite destination, then any road is good, right? You can get on any road and that's going to take you somewhere. But if it doesn't matter where you go, it doesn't matter what road you take. But if you have a destination, you need to be following the signs that are going to get you to the destination you have set and following the course that goes along with that. If you have set a life goal, if you have set a business goal, if you have set a relationship goal, would it not make sense that we need to become mindful of the signs that arise along the path to tell us, hey, you need to speed up. Maybe you need to slow down. You're going too fast in this certain area, or with this certain person, you're moving too fast or you're moving too slow and you need to slow down. Maybe you're getting off course and you need to do that course correction that we've talked a lot about in the past. It used to be the little toy car. You would start it up and it would go to the edge of the road or to the edge of the table, or it would go bump against a wall and it would back up and it would course correct and go another direction. Well, there are signs in life that are going to tell us the same thing. Some of those signs are in your health. My wife and I were sitting there at the house yesterday evening checking our blood pressure with a little blood pressure cuff. And we're in the latter second half of our 50s and in relatively good health. Don't have any major health scares at all to worry about, but it's good. My wife just went in for her annual checkup and she has what's called white coat syndrome. So if you go to the doctor or the dentist or any clinic, your blood pressure goes up a little bit just because of nerves of being in a medical setting. Some of you may experience the same thing. I'm fairly laid back no matter where I am. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes not so much. But my low number on my blood pressure is basically low and has been low. It's been consistently low for 30 or 40 years. I used to go give blood years ago, and one time I went in to give blood, and I actually had to drop and do 20 push-ups before they would let me give blood because my blood pressure was too low. They said, you're going to take up too much time trying to fill a bag of blood. You need to get your blood pressure up. You're too laid back. And that can be a detriment, but those are the signs. Another friend of mine had a relative that just went in and had heart procedure. They did a heart cath and they recognized they were lethargic and had no energy on a vacation, and went to the hospital and found out that was a sign telling them that they had an issue with blockage in the veins to their heart. And when your heart doesn't get enough oxygen in your blood, doesn't produce as well, or you have the heart attack if you don't recognize the signs. Sometimes it is the cholesterol, sometimes it's diet and exercise, and you start feeling wrong in your body will tell you, hey, wake up, buddy. Listen to the signs. Listen, ma'am, to the signs when something is going awry in your body. And you may have set a health goal. You have decided to go to the gym. You've joined a gym and you're not going. And you start feeling bad. Your weight increases. Your energy level drops. You start having the aches and pains in your body. You need to learn to recognize those and get back on track. Sometimes it's the Bible says that iron sharpens iron, and sometimes it's a relationship issue that you need to iron out with somebody, and you just need to revisit or get back on track in some of your relationships. Maybe you have dropped a relationship with somebody that was really encouraging to you and enriched your life, and for some reason you don't hang out with them anymore, or your life has caused you to drift in different directions, and you need to build that relationship back up. There's a sign when you are not as happy, you are not as encouraged, not as fulfilled in your life. It's like, who is that person that I'm missing? That person that lifted me up, that person that was my helpmate. Sometimes it's your spouse, sometimes it's a friend. But the challenge today that I'm throwing out here for all of you is we learn to recognize all the road signs, But when do we start learning to recognize the life signs, right? Hello, Valerie. It's good to see you watching as well. I sure appreciate that. Hey, Cody. Ace of Base said it best. I saw the sign. It opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. That was a great tune, isn't it? It's true. That's a great comment, Cody. Cody is one of those that he's one of my life signs buddies. And after the show today, I'll be going to see Cody at Fire Slice Pizza. Best place to eat pizza, Italian food in Amarillo, Texas, bar none. There's your shameless plug, Cody. But Cody and I, iron sharpens iron. We visit over lunch, and we're always challenging each other in these areas, in our health, in doctor's visits, in exercise, in business, the different things that we do in life. And we try to keep each other on track, right? Yo, Fishbone. Good to see you too. I just love it when my friends are watching the show. But we have got to learn to recognize these signs. When something's wrong in our body, we need to recognize that. You need to go talk to someone that can actually help you with that issue. Not medical. If you like Fishbone here, my friend Carissa, you super smart. If I had a medical issue and I didn't want to go to the doctor, I may call her or text her first and say, what do you think? Right. And Antonio, my nephew, Dr. Antonio Flores, he'd say, Uncle Pat, you need to get to the doctor. You need to go to the hospital, or you need to do this. I'd call them and I get their advice. But in my life and in my relationships, these are the things we need to learn to recognize. If you have a relationship that's waning, was that a person that needed to be phased out of your life because you recognize the warning signs with that person and you needed to go a different direction, right? A shift. Sometimes you make a hard left and you have to move away from that person. But sometimes life happened and you drifted from that person and you need to bring those friends back into your life. Reestablish those relationships, because those relationships with the good people are what helps keep us on track to our goals. Revisit your commitments. Are you committing to the right things? Here at Patrick Lee Group and the Honey Badger Nation that I'm a part of here at eXp Realty, our leadership and our coaches, one of the basic things they talk about all the time is right things, right order. You can be doing the right things, but if you're doing them in the wrong order, you're not going to get the result that you want. Hello, Ann. Good to see you watching as well. Congratulations on your recent certification in your counseling company. I love that. I am going to look into that. Trust me, haven't forgot about you. But Fishbone says that is true. Sometimes we are assigned to people, and sometimes we're just supposed to be acquainted. Amen. That is so good. That's so true. I say some people are in your life for a reason. Some people are in your life for a season, and some people are in your life forever. And that's kind of how I am continuing to learn to live my life. I'm learning to recognize that some people are here for a season, for a while. Someone comes into your life, and I believe that God and the devil, the good and the bad, when God wants to bless you, he will put someone in your life, someone in your path. And it may be for that moment, and it may be for a season, but I also believe that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And one of the easiest ways for him to do that is to put someone in your path. And that person will lead you off course, or they will just trip you. So that person comes and they immediately trip you and you get off course. You need to learn to recognize that sign and get back on course right away. And sometimes they're there for a season, and you go through this season that causes you to get off track. You're in a funk. Your relationships are all suffering. And it's because of that one person that's in your life that is causing you to influence you to go the wrong direction. So learn to recognize these signs. Yes, you are. Carissa, you are all three. Reason, season, forever. I love that. My forever homies. That I got a lot of forever homies in my life, and I'm so grateful for all of them, because we all are here to help each other. When we're getting off track, we need to be reminded. If we're making mistakes, we need that iron to sharpen the iron. And those are the friends that we need to have closest to us, because they're not afraid to call you out if something is going wrong. That's what friends do. So learn to recognize those signs and then revisit your commitments. What commitments have you made to people? What commitments have you made to your career, and your relationships, even your own marriage? What commitments did you make when you said, I do, till death do us part? Have you kept those commitments, or are you committing to the right things, to your spouse 100%, to your business, if that's what God's called you to do, 100%, to every relationship or every person you know? Maybe not. Maybe you've committed to some things that are not healthy, that are not good to you, and you need to recognize those signs and learn it's time to chart a different course. What goals have you set that seem further away now than they were when you set them? Some of you have those. I have a couple of those, and it bothers me. I did a course, an exercise a couple of years ago called the Perfect Day, and during that course, I think Frank Kern is the one that may have talked about that. You close your eyes and you start dreaming about your perfect day, and then it goes from the perfect day to the perfect week to the perfect life. And I have set some goals and commitments in my life. One of them, which is huge, and I can share it with you. Hello, Mary. Good to see you watching as well. But I have made a commitment or shared a life goal that, just like Danny Thomas and the Hospital for Children that treats children with diseases and health issues for free, I had a vision, a dream 15 years ago about opening up a free hospital as well in America, very similar to the one that Danny Thomas has, but that was unregulated. It was privatized, had no government oversight, but was able to do experimental, investigative treatments for different diseases, things that big pharma have told us are illegal, or that we can't do, and not to experiment on children, but to truly use everything that God has given us to go out for free through donations from wealthy benefactors and treat these kids, heal these kids, do the medical surgeries on kids that need them for free. And I'm 59. Does that mean that can never happen? Hey, KFC didn't start until Colonel Sanders was already retired and in his late 60s, before a bank finally told him those 11 special seasonings have promise, and we'll open up this chicken chain and you'll become famous. So I still have plenty of years in my life. Does that mean that I'm too old? Are the signs telling me I'm too old to go start a free hospital for children because Danny Thomas already did one? Heck no. So, but what goals have you set that may seem further away now than they were when you set them? When I set that goal, I was nowhere near getting a real estate license and potentially meeting someone in this industry that would know someone that knew someone that would say, hey, why don't we put our resources and our minds and our relationships together and let's do something like that, right? So now my whole future, my mindset is different, and some of those goals that seem further away now than when I made them may become more possible. Maybe you've set some goals in your life and it seems like you've been running from those goals at a breakneck speed in the opposite direction, but it's time for you to recommit, and revisit those commitments, revisit your goals. What did you write down in your journal a couple years ago? And then you put that journal away and it's in a bedside drawer and you're not going for that anymore. You have thought life is too hard. COVID changed everybody. My industry has changed. My finances have changed, and I just can't do it. Maybe life is telling you that today's the day that you decide to revisit those commitments. Maybe I can be the impetus, or the motivation that causes you to do that. Go back and dust off those goals. And I would ask you to do this. And we do this in real estate when we're cold calling, which I don't do a lot of cold calling for that reason. It's cold. And none of you like it. I know I don't like it either when people call me and they call me all day wanting to sell me insurance because I'm self-employed, or they want to sell me something, or they want me to donate to some politician. I get cold called all day, every day. But when I am calling somebody and I may have gotten a lead and someone sent me a name or a number of someone and said they were trying to sell their house and they got demotivated, the market changed and they've taken it off the market. And so now it's an expired listing and they're no longer trying to sell their house. And when we talk to them, the number one thing we want to do is bring them back to motivation, which is what I'm trying to do with all of you today. Bring you back to motivation. What would you have done had you achieved the goal that you set? What kind of a life would you be living today had you not given up on that goal and you had moved forward and not let life derail you? What would happen in your life today if you had followed all of the road signs telling you to go forward, to pick up speed, to move forward towards your goal? And instead, you allowed something or someone to be placed in your life as a roadblock along the path to success. Life throws many roadblocks in our way. Some of them seem to be insurmountable, a brick wall. Some of them are nothing more than a speed bump, and we need to learn to recognize that some of them are simply that. They're little distractions, a speed bump that's thrown in our way, and we give it too much credit. We give it too much credence. We put too much emphasis on it, and all of a sudden, it's easy to get sidetracked. And my goal today is to get you to revisit those things. The signs are there to help you, not hinder you. Learn to recognize the signs in life, whether it is your health, whether it is a relationship that is lacking, that that passion in that relationship has waned. Wake up, pay attention, drink some more coffee, and learn to recognize those things. If it's your business, are your numbers where you need them to be for you to achieve the things in your life with your family and your team? Mary says, I can go on with my goal now that I can set on my own. Amen. We all have the power to set our own goals. We all run our own race. We all live our own life. I'm living mine. You're living yours. I hope that I can help motivate you. Still talking about the circle of motivation I'm going to be bringing out to you on a future show. And actually had a couple of more steps along the way that I'm adding to that. That's going to be pretty neat. I'm making a chart and a graph of the motivation circle and how it affects our life. Everything I think comes along in a circle. Hello, Miss Lisa. Good morning. Watching the show live. I love that. That's awesome. But that's kind of where we're at today. Learn to recognize the signs in life. The road signs are there to help you. They're help you, point you in the right direction, but also to warn you of trouble along the way. The life signs are there for the same reason. Hey, Debbie, good to see you too. Tons of my friends watching the show today. I appreciate that. But these life signs are there for the same reason. They're there to help us, to remind us, to tell us to go for it. It's time to speed up, move forward towards your goals. Dust off the journal, dust off the diary, the dream board that you shoved in a closet or under your bed. Revisit these goals. Make a new commitment today to follow through with those commitments you've made in the past. I believe it's there to help you, not to hinder you. And that if we do that, we will be much happier when we get further along the road. I hope this has helped you today. This has been Patrick Lee with Midweek Motivation Live. Not a super long show today, but hey, we've almost filled up 30 minutes. I continuously tell myself I'm going to keep the show under 30 minutes, and then I habitually go over. So you see, I've made a new commitment. I've recommitted to honoring your time. And I appreciate each and every one of you coming back to watch the show each and every week, some live, some through the recording. If you're watching this on your major podcast platform, leave me a review, a thumbs up, like the show. Wherever you're watching the show, leave me a review there. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. We went ahead and renamed the YouTube channel, my Patrick Lee channel, to the Midweek Motivation channel. That now Midweek Motivation has overtaken a majority of all of the content on that channel. So now it's the Midweek Motivation live channel on YouTube as well. Subscribe there and ring the bell to get notifications. And if you have any needs in life that I can help you with, don't hesitate to click on the link to my digital business card, www.patricklee.work, in the comments below this video. Bonus tip for the day, I think was an Elvis song. Stop, look, and listen. We've learned it from the time we were a kid. Recognize the signs, stop, look, and listen. Learn to recognize. And then remember, courage begins at the end of your comfort zone. Let's get out there and get uncomfortable today, making a difference in someone's life. Until next time, love ya. Bye-bye.